Your misery is due to a belief in separation. I received that message on this date on October 4th in 2000, and I didn't understand what it meant. That was a Wilhelm message. I didn't understand what it meant because I hadn't reached a place of understanding in my consciousness. When Wilhelm gives us information, it takes us a while, it takes me a while to understand it because that's how we progress. That's how we evolve. That is our ascension process. And they have given us an ascension guide. But I didn't know that at the time. Just like you don't know what you have and what you're completing now or what you're meant to do. I got up this morning and I was listening to a video, and the title was, God is about to shock everyone who laughed at you. And it was talking to chosen ones. Because we're moving through a big change. We're moving through a big shift in our world. And so you're moving through a big shift in your life. And the only misery you're experiencing now is that separation from yourself. And the only difficulty we're experiencing in our world is a belief in separation from others. That's what's going on because that's how we evolve in our civilizations. We do it over centuries and we're doing it again. And we happen to be moving through it. So that means that if we let go of that separation, that feeling that we have that we don't matter, that we're different from, that we're separate from the universe or separate from God or separate from whatever you might believe in, then we start to heal and then the world would as well. But it's a process. And that's what Wilhelm showed us. And it's a process that happens over time. They just did something different with me. They just used the quantum field to show us how that occurs in our consciousness. But we can do that now because that is the work that came through, was given through me. Now, I didn't know that, just as you don't know what you have either. But I'm going to show you that one message because it's up today, because the other day they said, tell them they're so close, meaning you're so close to accepting what you're meant to do in this lifetime and how you're meant to evolve and what you're meant to come have happen in your life. That's really what it's about. But this one you will love. And if you go through every message, you will see the progression and you will feel the progression in your life as you read the messages. I'm going to read that one to you, but first I want to start with the beginning. You are so close. We mean you on your evolutionary journey as well as the restructuring of your world. You are the one causing that to occur by the extent to which you choose to believe in your life journey and purpose. We have provided guidance on this date that will elevate you to a higher level of acceptance and evolution. And so we begin in 2008 and we start to get a different kind of concept of what we're meant to do in this life. All that you give to others, you give to yourself. That's something that we come to understand as we evolve. Then the next year, there is no greater pursuit you may undertake in your physical life experience than that of authenticity. And that's the thing that we struggle so hard to find in ourselves. Then the next year, the most effective action you can take in terms of accomplishing your goal of expansion is merely to do what is in front of you. We don't often do that. Then the next one, we may get here. Anything and everything that has already occurred in your physical life experience is done. That means let go of the past. That's challenging as well because we're still thinking about all that bad stuff we did. Then the next one, you are always better today than you were yesterday, and it is not possible for it to be any other way. That's a concept that will take you a while to get, and forgive yourself to when you understand it. What you know now is valuable to so many others. We don't feel that because we haven't felt ourselves as being valuable, so it takes a while. That's why we don't become authentic. It is not necessarily that you are being forced to do things in a new way, which is how it feels to you at times. And it does, but we're doing that. Yes, I can is a mantra that you should hold as you move through your physical life experience. If we could do it every day, that would be a great one. Then the next one, saying no does not make you a bad person. And for people who are empathetic, that one is a challenging one to accept because we let go of our boundaries. then you never get it wrong and you never make a mistake. What? That can't be possible. But then you understand that every mistake you made gave you some greater benefit. You had an uncomfortable awareness. That uncomfortable awareness, and I don't even have to read the message, but I know that it's when we uncover something about ourselves we've been denying. Then a beautiful mess. That is how our lives feel at times, and that's also how the world feels. And then we come to understand why that process is there. And so they gave us this information to understand the relationships that would help us understand that beautiful mess that we might feel ourselves in now. Then the next year, and here's the one that I wanted to read because this is the one I didn't understand. Your misery is due to a belief in separation. As you know, your world is moving through a mass restructuring, which means you are doing that. We also said that the United States would lead the way, and your female energies would assume more prominence. Now we will tie all of this together, and of course, we will use Roger. Yesterday, Roger scheduled a group talk, and only one person showed up. Because Roger now trusts his guidance much more, he knew this was the perfect scenario, but he didn't know why yet. The title of the topic was, Is the dream I have for my life realistic? Roger never knows beforehand how handy his topics will become. As he held the session, it took more than 45 minutes to reach the session's pinnacle. What that was, and what each of you will come to understand, is that you continually separate yourself from your greatness. You do this by denying parts of yourself, which is what Roger's client was doing. The client didn't want to say the challenging situation they had lived with for more than a decade, and then only did so with engulfing guilt. You have done that with your life as well. Roger then told the client that they had discovered the client's path to success. Each of you is starting to do this now, and so is the United States, and then the world. You will love every aspect of yourself, which means every other person, which ends up becoming more of that feminine, nurturing energy. The world will begin to reflect the balance you feel within yourself. You will witness much more of this soon. One final point. More than a year ago, we told Roger that if he builds it, they will come. We were using a reference to a film by saying to you all that if you boldly step out in faith for what you desire to manifest, it will occur, for you are that powerful. Roger planned an empowerment webinar for next week. As he looked at the registration, he could see that all the people placed before him to aid them on their evolving journey. It took more than a year for them to show up because he had done the same as his client. A belief in separation, but now he does not. Each of you will do the same when you stop believing in separation and own every part of you. And you will be successful and you will be fine. That was 5 years ago. But then the next year, when you love yourself more, your world will change. You see, we're still in progression. And then the next year, we still didn't get it yet. And it says disbelief will be your only challenge. And I certainly had disbelief because I didn't know they had done this. You don't know what you have either. But then we keep breaking through. Then it says your wisdom will change the world. That means everyone has wisdom from whatever they have lived if we decide to own it, as that story was saying. Then we get down to last year, and maybe we can do it today. Self-acceptance and authenticity are the same goal. And that's what I'm doing. This work was given to all of us to cause us to come and to stop separating ourselves and become successful and prosperous and to thrive and to cause the same to occur in our world. And that's this work. I'll leave a couple of documents that I created because I want you to understand how powerful this work is for you and for our world. And I didn't know I had it, just like you don't know what you can do yet because you haven't done it. But now we can. See you soon.